Let's put together everything we've learned so far and develop a script that does some common administrative tasks using bash menus. This is useful because once it's done, you simply select the desired option and the script does the entire job for you. It can even be run by junior sysadmins who do not know that much about the Linux command line bash programming or other advanced concepts. You can think of this script as a control panel where you can run different administrative tasks. I'm gonna call the script systemadministration.sh. I'm changing the ps3 variable, which is the prompt. ps3 equals your choice. And the select statement. I'll add 4 or 5 menu entries, but feel free to add as many as you wish. So select item in. The first menu entry will be add user. The second menu entry will be list all processes. Let's say kill process, install program, and the last one, quit. Do, and done. The user will select an entry from the menu using its corresponding number, which is held into the reply variable. So I'm gonna test the variable to see what the user has chosen. So if double square brackets $reply equals 1, then and fee. This time the user has selected 1, which means add user. And I'm prompting for the username because I'm gonna create a new account. So read -p, enter the username. And the variable will be username. Before actually creating the user, I want to check if it doesn't already exist. I'll run the command that creates the user only if the user does not exist. And I'll do command substitution. I'm searching for the username in the password file using grep and the -w option, which is searching for whole words. So output equals and the command substitution. Grep -w $username /etc/password. The output of the command will be stored into the output variable. If the variable, which is a string, is not empty, that means that the user already exists on the system and I'm printing a message saying that it already exists. So if -n $output. I'm using the -n test, which returns true if the string is not 0 length. Then, else, and fee. I'm writing the entire structure of the if construct from the beginning. So, I'm giving the following message to the user. The username already exists. And the else clause, so if the user does not exist, I'm gonna create it. Sudo user add, you can add as many options as you wish, /bin bash, this is the default shell, and the username. $username. This could be enough, but I'd like, in this case, to test if the last command was executed successfully. Remember that the status of the last run command is saved into $? The value 0 means no error, and the value that is different from 0 means there was an error. If $-eq 0, then else and fee. And the message will be the user was added successfully if it's 0. And I'm also printing the last line of the password file to see the newly created user. So tail-n1/etc/pawswd. Now the else clause. If the return status of the last executed command, so of user_add, is not 0, then there was an error. So echo there was an error adding the user. Great, that was for the first menu entry. See how I have indented the code for better readability. I can see clearly where each if construct starts and ends. This is especially important if you have nested structures like nested if statements here. Let's add the code for the second menu entry. So if the user chooses 2. So elif, then, and fee. And the condition will be $reply -eq 2. So if the user chooses 2. If the user selects the second menu entry, then I'll list all running processes. So echo listing all processes. Slip 1, I'm pausing the script execution for 1 second so that the user has enough time to read the output. And ps-ef. This is the command that lists all running processes. And the test for the third entry. If the user chooses kill process, elif $reply equals 3. I'm prompting the user for a process name and stopping it. So read -p, enter the process to kill. And the name of the variable will be process. And I'm killing it. I'm running the pkill command. Now, the implementation for the fourth menu entry. So elif $reply -eq 4. That's install program. So the user wants to install a specific program. So read -p, enter the program to install. And let's say the name of the variable that will be created is app. And I'm running the command that will install the app. So sudo apt update && sudo apt install $app -y assumes yes to any prompt. And that's all. And finally, the last menu entry is quit. So elif $reply equals 5. Echo quitting. And the else clause that will be executed if the user selects any other options. So an unexisting menu entry. So echo invalid menu selection. Okay, that's all. Let's test it. Here, I've forgotten a space before the closing square brackets. That's mandatory. I'm adding the execution permission to the script and running it. And we see the menu entries. I'm selecting the first option, 1. And it's prompting the user for a username. And I'm entering an existing username, student. And it says the username already exists. Now I'm adding a new one. Let's say sysadmin 10. Okay, first I have to select the menu entry. So 1, add user, and sysadmin 10. It's asking for the sudo password. I'm entering it, and the user was added successfully. We can even see the last line of the password file. Let's test the second menu entry. I want to list all processes. And it has listed all the running processes. Great. Let's kill a process. I'm opening another terminal, running sleep 100. And in the first terminal where the menu is running, I'm selecting 3 and the process to kill sleep. And the process was terminated. It was killed. Let's install a program. I'm selecting 4. And I want to install a web server. Let's say Nginx. And it's installing the web server. It's working fine. Nginx was installed and I want to quit. I'm selecting 5 and it's quitting.